Welcome to the Exact Digital Podcast, the show where we dive into how digital marketing agencies are using paid media to drive real growth for their clients and for themselves. From planning to ROI and everything in between, we uncover the strategies, stories, and systems that set agencies apart. Each episode, we'll talk with agency leaders who are innovating with paid media, scaling their businesses, and delivering results that matter. Whether you're looking to expand your services or sharpen the edge of your current offerings, you're in the right place. Let's get into it.
Welcome to the Exact Digital Podcast, where we go beyond clicks and impressions to explore what really moves the needle in digital advertising. Every episode, we sit down with marketing leaders, agency founders, and growth makers from all kinds of industries to unpack the strategies and mindset shifts that are shaping the future of advertising. Today's guest is Bridget Mercuri. She is the PR and earned media director at Amplify, where she helps law firms build credibility and visibility through strategic storytelling and media placement. She specializes in positioning attorneys as trusted thought leaders, translating complex legal work into authentic narratives that resonate far beyond the courtroom. Welcome to the show, Bridget. Why
Thank
don't you tell
you.
us? Yes, welcome. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about your company and the work that your team does at Amplify?
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me. Amplify is a digital marketing agency. We have a holistic approach. So we only cater to lawyers and law firms. So we're very niche. But a thing that really separates us from all the other legal marketing agencies out there, because there are a million, and if you're in the legal space, you know that. But what really separates us is that we're kind of like a one-stop shop. We are currently, building out other options for clients, but we are where you want to be for your website, your SEO, your PR. The PR also really stands out against all the other legal marketing firms because I guess a lot of people don't really know about PR in the legal field and that they need it at least. So that's kind of about us. And, we work with personal injury attorneys, medical malpractice, catastrophic injury. We work with divorce lawyers, kind of all around the board. So it's a
Yeah,
very cool group that we get to work with.
that's awesome. You mentioned a one-stop shop for law firms. So what does that actually look like in practice? Like, why is that model so important in such a crowded legal marketing space?
Yeah, of course. So I guess a lot of lawyers will go to a legal marketing agency for people to do their website, right? And they'll do their website for them. And then they kind of send them off and it's, like, okay, we made it for you. Now go have fun with it, right? But we are actively always updating sites for people. We're always from the PR work that I do and getting articles published and news segments and things of that nature. We're always updating them, adding them to the site for the clients so they never have to touch the site. And tracking all their analytics for them, where other marketing agencies in the legal space really I don't want to talk bad about any, of
Yeah.
course, but we really pride ourselves in having a relationship with the firms and the people that we're working with. So it's more of a partnership and a relationship than just doing a job for them. So we really take pride in that. And, because we want it to be a partnership. We want all their ideas. We want them in the conversations. We tell onboarding clients all the time, if you're not really going to be in contact with us, this relationship might not work to its best potential because we're talking to attorneys all day, all night. If something happens at 3 a.m. and a bridge collapses, we're texting about it. We're getting it out in the news. So the
Yeah.
relationship factor is super, super important in Amplify.
Yeah, that's That's so important. I think with any relationship, right? Is
Of course.
you
Yeah.
engaged? Are you like
Personal.
contributing? Yeah.
Exactly. It doesn't hurt to have some help, right?
Yes, yeah. Well, tell me a little how Amplify integrates paid digital media with, your broader marketing strategy for the law firms, but I know especially since you have such a strong emphasis on earned media and
Yeah.
organic visibility. So how does paid play a role in that?
Yeah, definitely. So we do also do paid campaigns depending on, if the client is looking for that, and where they want to be. For example,
Mhm.
for the people that aren't in the legal space, we work with mass torts, which is essentially lawsuits all across the country towards one company. For example, Ozempic is one of them, Roblox is one of them. So, in a campaign like that, where we're trying to get clients for our lawyers and get them cases, we'll do a very, very targeted paid campaign. For example, we did one for Roblox. So, we were putting that on Facebook groups for parents, Reddit groups for parents, and things of that nature, where, of course, parents are the target in that campaign because a lot of parents don't know what's going on, Roblox and all the predators and dangerous things going on for the kids. So really taking very targeted ideas and then implementing that through paid media is what we found really works well, and making it as niche as possible.
Yeah. No, that's great. I know it's fascinating all the
Yeah,
different things out there. You don't even know about it.
I
Um,
know exactly.
yeah. You mentioned that Amplify isn't really trying to work with every lawyer under the sun. So, like, what qualities do you look for in the clients that you work with? And you've mentioned about having a true partnership. So, what are the qualities that you look for?
Yeah, definitely. So, as I mentioned, having someone and a firm that really wants to be involved and share their messaging like truly from themselves, and not, of course, we're always coming up with ideas for clients every minute of the day. But, having people that have that relationship, and we have one client and I love him. He's amazing. He is sending us emails constantly of just ideas and things that just pop in his head. So, people that are open to change, I think, is really important. And, the legal space too. Eh, like billboards are very, like, there's a whole bunch of things that the lawyers don't really want to get out of, and they're very comfortable. As with any industry, people get comfortable, they don't want to change their ways. So, I think, clients that really are comfortable with getting into AI and understanding that things are changing. And if you don't change with them, you may be left behind. And, letting us kind of take the reins with them as the partnership, like I said, and really just leading them and, where the world is going, and the marketing world and the legal world and all of that. And just people who want to stay ahead of the curve, I think,
Yeah.
is who we're looking for.
Right. Right. Yeah, because you could get lost. I mean, with any kind of industry, really, if you're not
Of
staying
course, yeah, any
staying
industry,
up to date.
AI in the past like 3 years has gone insane. I saw a video online actually, and it was like an AI person, and it was kind of blurry and pixelated. And then 3 years later, now you cannot even tell the difference.
Right.
So I think if you can find a team that is, watching those things and staying ahead of those things, can help you in any, field that you're in.
Yeah, no. So something you said before was that a big part of your mission is humanizing lawyers. There can be a
Mm.
bad rap sometimes. So why
Yeah.
do you think that matters so much for personal injury and medical malpractice and various firms?
Yeah, I mean, as someone who is just scrolling all the time and, living in this world that we live in, we want to see other just normal people, and like you said, there could be a bad rep around lawyers, and, they're full of themselves, they're scary, they're, like they just want money. But that's what I also really enjoy about Amplify is all of our clients are really good human beings. And that's from my job in PR. I want to show the public that and show the people that, are going through probably the hardest time in their life right now. God forbid, something horrible happens and you want to turn to a person that is compassionate and, isn't just looking for your money and to, you know, be like a bulldog for you and, really put compassion into it and understand that this is a really hard time for you. So I think just showing the public that and being authentic is the most important thing. I think we're all looking for that, whether it's through a lawyer or a doctor or anything that is, So I think humanizing the lawyers is like the best approach to take because again, people that get in these bad situations don't want to call a lawyer. The amount of lawyers I've talked to and they're like, I hope they don't have to go through these things, but if they do, I hope they call me and they know that we're going to get through it together and we're going to get them justice. So yeah, I think taking down that facade that we're going to fight for you. And of course, you want them to fight for you.
Of
But
course.
I think there's this misconstruction around it that, they're all very aggressive and they're going to get in the ring and box for you when really you might just need a hug or, like something a little softer. So showing that side of the lawyers, I think really gravitates towards the general audience.
Yeah. When I think that goes back to you saying that one-stop shop, you've got all the different elements that can help with the reputation, right?
Right.
And so I think that's pretty key with that. So are there any types of paid digital campaigns your team has found to be most effective for law firms? So I know we talked, sometimes it depends on what you're looking for, but is there anything that you guys have seen a lot of success? I think you mentioned some social, but tell me a little bit more about that. And then like, how do you guys measure return on investment in those channels?
Yeah, honestly, I don't work in the paid area specifically, so we might want to I might want to rethink this question and
Oh yeah,
re-answer it.
no worries.
Um like I mentioned before, the Roblox campaign did really well because it was so targeted and, putting it in front of the people that we, of course, are targeting. And that's why I obviously come from the PR space, but that's why paid media is so important too, because PR isn't always going to, get to the exact person you want it to be at with the organic media. And the organic media is great as well um and building trust and authority, but the paid ads really, like I said, like we want to target parents and let them know that there's predators online on this game that all the kids in the world are obsessed with and love, and they're asking for gift cards for Christmas and trying to steer them away from that. And we've had clients, say we got multiple cases out of this campaign, like really great results from it. I
Yeah.
can't say exactly how we measured those just because that's not like my exact
No.
realm, but I hope that kind of answered your
Yeah, no,
question.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, and maybe you could share like a success story from your earned media. Like tell me like
Yeah.
where you've seen some of the most success with the PR side and the earned and organic space. Like what are you guys doing that's different and
Yeah, of course.
working?
So, we have to follow the news cycle. There's things
Mhm.
going on insane every day. I'm sure we all are aware.
Yes.
But, really following the news cycle and kind of positioning each client that we have into their own little area or niche, I should say. We found that and what I like to say, a lot of people, when they think of PR, they think, oh, they're just sending out press releases and, the people don't really know what we do. But I like to say a press release is kind of just like the starting point. We'll put out a release. People might grab it, people might not. We do extra outreach after that. And I'm trying to think of a good example for like when all the planes were crashing a
Yes.
couple months ago. We had an attorney who did some aviation work He, we really position him as an aviation attorney because he's dealt with cases like that before, and it was the hot topic of everything, like
Yeah.
planes are falling out of the sky, what's happening, we're scared. So then people want to look towards a person who can tell them what's actually going on and not just fake news, someone who's dealt with these plane crashes, knows the mechanics of it, and
Mhm.
also knows your rights as a passenger, or god forbid a plane falls on your house, or something like that.
Right.
So
Yeah.
right, like crazy things.
Yeah.
um so we took his aviation experience and we ended up getting him on the cover of the Boston Globe, in the US
Yeah.
news, all national placements, as well as he was based in Pittsburgh. So placements around him. There was, I believe, a plane crash in that area, Pittsburgh area. So then, it gave him a local angle as an expert as well. So really seeing what your client's strengths are and what's going on in the world and combining those together with the right positioning and angles
Yeah.
really can do a lot of great work.
Yeah. Well, it just shows the importance of relevance too, right? Like
Yeah,
you
of course.
and timeliness, that you've got to like
Yes.
kind of that message may not resonate a few years from now, right? Well, hopefully, but
Of
um
course. I
but
know,
that
it's really everything's timely.
yes, yeah. Okay, well, so you said your team is really passionate about helping lawyers help the injured. That was something that kind of stuck with me the
Yeah.
last time we spoke. How does having that deeper purpose change the way that your team approaches campaigns and relationships?
Yeah, I mean, I think like going back to just like we're all human, I
Mhm.
would hope to think that as a human race we all want to just help each other. I know that doesn't a lot of people don't talk about that enough, in my opinion. There's a lot of bad things going on in the world, but we've seen so many tragic cases and like things that are happening to people, that and then you look at the news, and there's all these horrible things being shared when we could be looking at someone getting justice for, getting injured, or a bridge collapsed, like I said, and god
Yeah.
forbid someone got hurt. And we want to hear about like those stories of justice and helping people, rather than all the bad stuff we're reading that's making us more sad. So I think, at least like for me personally, being on the PR side of it and getting to share client stories who have been injured, as well as my clients, the lawyers, is so important. Like a pretty tragic story is, there was a family on a highway in Texas, and there were little kids in the car, and both the parents got struck and passed away, and then left the children as orphans. So we did some work for our attorney, and I got her on the news, a news segment, to talk about it. We got her in Texas Lawyer, which is very big in the legal space, law.com, writing about the story of what happened. And she actually herself, pro bono, was getting them clothes and school supplies,
Wow.
and set up a GoFundMe and raised an unbelievable amount of money for these children. So, stories like that is what we want to share,
Yeah.
like to actually, and getting the GoFundMe on the news really got people to donate, locally. So yeah, those really tragic stories at Amplify, we want to, of course, not share them in that sense where we want people to like talk about it in a bad way,
Yeah.
but really help. Like they're these poor babies are now going to grow up, without their children, and a lawyer is just helping them out of the kindness of their heart. That's what we're
Yeah.
trying to share. And again, it goes back to humanizing the lawyers, and we're all just people.
Right.
So yeah, I hope that answered. I know I
Yeah,
kind of
well, and it
started to
really does
ramble.
show there's so much power in marketing, and it's not just selling products,
Yeah,
you can change the way someone thinks about anything,
a hundred
and
percent.
and also do some good. So that, I mean, that feels good when your work
Of
matters.
course.
So
Yeah, I know. Like
yeah.
it personally to me it felt so good when we actually got coverage on it because I was like, "Oh, I feel like in a way I'm helping these little kids. They have
Yeah.
no clue who I am. I don't know them." But like I feel like I'm helping in a sense, you know? And
Yeah,
it is
absolutely.
funny you say that how like marketing changes. I remember in college and it always stuck with me like advertising literally changes like our perceptions on everything. Without advertising, we of course we'd have our thoughts and like normal
Yeah.
things, but decision making and all of that, it really all goes back to advertising and marketing and all these things that we see every day that we don't think about too hard unless you're in the industry, of course.
Right. You don't see the connection until, yeah, you've got like that
Exactly.
that hindsight or whatever. But
Yeah.
well, is there anything else that you would like to add to the conversation? Anything we might have missed, that something that you guys do or that's unique to your
Um,
team?
I don't think so. I mean, we do a lot. I so could have missed a bunch of things, but you
Yeah.
know, we're just a really talented team. There's a lot of moving parts, and nothing would be possible without each other, our whole team.
Mhm.
Everyone's an amazing person and does such great work. So, my work would not be as successful without anybody else on the team. So, you know, it's a great place to work. I
That's
love
awesome.
Amplify and, you know, we love our clients too and love helping the injured, like I said.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you guys are based in the all throughout the US and in Canada, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're based in Florida, New Jersey, Canada. We are predominantly on the East Coast, but growing every day. So
Yeah, that's great. Well, thank you again for joining us. And if you want to learn more about Amplify, you can log on to amplifylaw.ai or follow them over on LinkedIn. And thank you for everyone tuning in to this episode brought to you by Exact Digital, your dedicated partner for performance driven media from programmatic display, CTV, paid social, search, and beyond. Let us know how we can help you and have a great day.
thank you.
Thank you.